It has never been more clear for the Los Angeles Lakers as following what has been a crazy past few days and last 24 hours for the NBA. Some new reports have dropped surrounding Rob Pelinka and his trade plans going forward for one player in particular that has fans fired up. We're going to break down exactly who that is and discuss what this new report entails, because it has huge implications on this team and their offseason going forward. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the 90% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys again for your continued support over here. Now, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday was a big day, and we covered on the channel a little bit. Desmond Bane got traded in a blockbuster deal. It wasn't to the Lakers, but the Lakers obviously are directly impacted by this. And I touched on yesterday how the center market is impacted, specifically regarding the value of a lot of the centers that are going to be on the market. Even though, of course, Desmond Bane wasn't a center, it obviously impacts the trade market for buyers and sellers. Some new reports have dropped now about Austin Reaves and his future in Los Angeles. And let's dive right into it, because it has never been more clear that if the Lakers are going to trade Austin Reaves, or are even debating trading Austin Reaves, this is the time to do it, and the time is now for the Lakers. You can see this here, this article drop, predicting the Lakers' Austin Reaves trade value after wild Desmond Bane deal. And in case you missed it, of course, the trade was Desmond Bane to the Magic for KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first, and 1 first-round pick swap. Of course, that's a lot of picks, the biggest one being the 2026 Suns pick that, of course, they got back. But keep in mind for this deal and what we're going to be discussing going forward with Austin Reaves, some of the draft compensation within this trade was to get rid of the Tavius Caldwell-Pope, contract. Now, is it a horrible contract? It's not a very good contract, but there's a chance where KCP returns to the player that, a very good role player that they signed him to be, the Magic that is back a few years ago, or a couple years ago that is rather. But you can see this article. This kind of package for a player like Bane raised some eyebrows and naturally led to questions about what someone like Austin Reaves may fetch in a trade. Reaves is coming off a career year and has steadily grown into a player capable of impacting winning on a high level. And we know, is Reaves and Bane comparable? Not necessarily in the way they play, but value-wise, you can make that argument. You can see at the bottom here, many view Reaves and Bane on a relatively equal footing and trade value, though there are those who would argue Reaves has the edge. With that in mind, it's not out of question that the Lakers could fetch a minimum of 3 first-round picks if they were to explore trading him this offseason. And this is what kind of has had Lakers fans debating back and forth. And I'm curious, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section right now, would you trade Austin Reaves if it meant you get a package similar to Desmond Bane? Now, I think a realistic option will be, like the article said, 3 first-round picks. I think the only reason why that, the Magic gave up 4 and that the, Grizzlies got 4 back was because of, again, they're taking on some bad salary, or what is considered at this moment bad salary by the, in the KCP front, and maybe even Cole Anthony, depending how high or low you are on him. But at 3 first-round picks for Austin Reaves, I've been pretty a big advocate on this channel. I'm pretty emphatic about the fact that I'm not entirely sold on the fit of Austin Reaves next to Luka Doncic. We saw it last year at times. It wasn't fantastic. There's been some rumblings about, of course, an Austin Reaves trade for a while. And you can see this here. And again, it's a very interesting thing. And you see in the article, of course, it all hinges on which team they're dealing with and how badly the team wants Reaves. The trade market in the NBA has been widely unpredictable. Bane was moved for 4 unprotected first rounders. And you think about Mikal Bridges, he was moved for 5 first rounders. Yet Doncic only got 1. Of course, they got Anthony Davis as well. The market swings. Now, for the Lakers, if you're considering trading Austin Reaves, this would be the golden time. You look at his stats last year, he averaged 20 points a game. He's coming off of the best season of his career, his clear, borderline, could have and should have won most improved player of the year. He was that good last year. Of course, coming off of what, his rookie year was solid. He's always been a solid role player. He started every single game of the year this year for the Lakers, even after Luka Doncic, of course, got traded over. But the big question is, he started as, this season as, kind of the starting point guard. He was the facilitator. He was really running the one and getting really solid at it. You can see his assist average up to 4.8, which was up from his, rookie and sophomore year by over 2 assists. But then after that, once Luka Doncic came through, he had to figure out again how to kind of go back to the role when he was a 6th man and when he was a bench player for a little bit of last season, I guess the year before last season, and kind of just playing off the ball. And he was very capable, of doing that. But I think overall he fits better, maybe not alongside Luka. Now, do I think that with a full offseason of Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic, things would be perfect? Yeah, I think it would be fine. But if you can get a huge haul for Austin Reaves, given this massive, trade, it might be better for the future of this team and then use those draft picks to flip him. Of course, you get a center anyway, but you also get somebody who maybe fits better alongside Doncic, and that's, a really good 3-and-D wing. A guy like Desmond Bane, ironically enough. You can see this Reddit post here, and I wanted to post it here because I was curious to see what you guys think about it, and it sparked major discussion on the Lakers, subreddit over there. The Lakers need to trade Austin Reaves right now while the market is overinflated. If Memphis can get 4 unprotected firsts and swaps for Desmond Bane, the Lakers should be able to get at least 2 first-round picks for Austin Reaves. You have to try and cash in and trade him right now. And that's been kind of the sentiment over the past 24 hours since this Desmond Bane trade went down, and since, the market is kind of, in theory, overinflated. But we've seen with the Luka Doncic trade, one trade doesn't usually define the market and one trade doesn't fully define it. But at the same time, Desmond Bane, the trade kind of came out of nowhere, and they're now reportedly, the Grizzlies that is maybe even shopping Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant, though I think they'll probably keep Jaren Jackson Jr. It's a time. It would be a time to trade Austin Reaves and really cash in. And if you can get, either A, you can get a big man back and maybe use some of that, or B, even if you're just getting draft capital, you get 2 to 3 first round picks, I think that would help a lot going forward for building around Luka Doncic and, of course, anyone else that you bring up, because there is an argument to be made regarding trading Austin Reaves. Now, should they do it? That's the big question. And I know a lot of fans think that he can come back and be a lot better than he was last year and turn into a 23, 25 point per game scorer. And of course, he's young. He's in his mid-20s, and with the future of LeBron James in jeopardy a little bit, in the sense of, not that he's not going to play next year most likely, but who knows how long he has left. He's talking about retirement a little bit, hinting at it. Let's say he has another year left after this upcoming year. So 2 years max left with the Lakers, or even if this is his next year and this is his final year, you need to think about the next step for this Lakers team. And that's why they acquired Doncic, but Reaves is in theory a part of that next step. And of course, that will change if they trade him. But you can see trade offers like this. Now, of course, this was before the Desmond Bane trade. This doesn't necessarily, show the overinflation of the market. Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, 2 second-round picks for Reaves, Knecht, Kleber, all these different things. And there's some, first-round picks, some pick swaps. I think this would be, a realistic trade for Austin Reaves, and we've covered it in the past surrounding Walker Kessler. I think before this Desmond Bane trade, the easiest fit would just be to name a big man and then, of course, swap him with Austin Reaves, maybe add some first if it's Walker Kessler, you're getting Colin Sexton, all those things. But now, if you're able to get, picks back for Austin Reaves, maybe you do 2 separate trades, or you trade Austin Reaves for a couple of firsts, and then you use those firsts to then acquire a big man in a separate trade. Now, the argument with that is the big man would probably, the teams who have the big man would probably also be asking for a lot. So it's, a bunch of different ways to go about it, and I think ultimately it'll be interesting. We're also hearing some rumblings. You can see here with the Sacramento Kings, Reaves for Domantas Sabonis. I think this is a very interesting, proposition. Does Sabonis fit with the Lakers? He does, in the sense of they need a center, but I don't know if Sabonis, he would help this team greatly, but they still desperately need defense. And if you go out and you make this deal, you're also giving up a starter in Hachimura, an unprotected 2031 first. Like, you're not getting picks back, but you're getting Domantas Sabonis, the best center out of the bunch that we've talked about here on the channel. You could argue that Walker Kessler is a better fit, and I think he is, but Domantas Sabonis is a better player. And if they got Domantas Sabonis, you would have to go out and get a center that is much, much better and primarily focused defensively to play off the bench, but also maybe even play alongside Domantas and put Domantas at the small ball 4 sometimes. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Either way, it has never been more clear that trading Austin Reaves is an option and one that makes sense. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. You guys are beast. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.